Yes, this is your mission and you have accepted it. This is the first of 6 modules for this 20-hour safe pre-licensure course. Notice on the navigation sidebar to your right the Outline tab with a search feature above the tab. Enter a keyword to identify the location of that keyword within the presentation that you want to find. Additionally, the Notes tab often contains additional information for many of the pages in the presentation, especially when audio is present. There is not audio present on every page in each of the presentations in the course. That mission for AAA mortgage training is still a work in progress, as is our next generation of courses. We thank you in advance for making course enhancement suggestions at the end of the course survey and in the comments tab in the modules when they occur to you. We want to help you get better at origination and seek your comments to help us improve your online learning experience. Finally, a reminder, the attached PDF file of the entire course is found in the resources link on the top left corner of the course player. To identify locations of keywords within that PDF file, remember to touch the Control key found on the bottom left-hand corner of your keyboard and the F key at the same time on your keyboard to open a Find feature and enter the desired keyword. Remember that Control and F at the same time will be useful within the PDF file and virtually any other electronic document, including Microsoft Documents and web pages. Your mission objectives, also known as learning objectives. Recall which roles require licensing or registration and which roles are exempt. 2. Outline minimum qualifications and disqualifying criteria for MLO licensing. 3. Evaluated completed and pending education and testing requirements to obtain and maintain a license. Owls are wise, and so is Benjamin Franklin. His quote about involvement: "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn." Expect many examples, exercises, interactions, learning games, and quizzes throughout the course. Occasionally, for a hoot, an exercise or learning game introducing a concept precedes additional presentation slides on that content, just to change things up. This is your passport for a license. Education and successful testing, your passport to MLO licensing. Mortgage loan originators, MLOs, working for a federally supervised deposit-taking institution, register with the NMLS, and are known as registered mortgage loan originator. MLOs working for a state-licensed mortgage company must acquire a state-issued license as an MLO prior to engaging in an origination activity. This course is the first stamp in your journey to becoming a state-licensed mortgage loan originator. Quick review of the test outline for the SAFE Act and Model State Law, also known as the Uniform State Test, UST. Section 1 is the Department of Financial Institutions or Mortgage Regulatory Commission, review and regulatory authority, responsibilities, and limitation. Item 2, State Law and Regulation definition. Item 3, License Law and Regulation, including A, persons required to be licensed, B, licensee qualifications and application processes, C, grounds for denying a license, D, license maintenance, such as continuing education, E, NMLS requirements such as registration thereof and updating the information as it changes. 4. Compliance includes prohibited conduct and practices, required conduct such as issuing disclosures, and C, advertising requirement. Remember to click the Notes tab to the left of the Outline tab on the course player on the left-hand side. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, enforces the Federal Secure and Fair Enforcement of Mortgage Licensing Act, the SAFE Act, issuing rules of compliance and Regulation H. When you see hyperlinks, move your mouse over the link for more information on that item. Regulation H, which is the regulation requiring MLOs employed by depository institutions such as federally chartered banks, register to get and maintain a unique identifier. The legislature, Congress and Senate, passes laws written idealistically or with a high-level view. The enacted law authorizes a regulatory body to issue rules, a regulation, informing affected parties specifically how to comply with the ideas in the law. The SAFE Act implemented tracking of company and individuals as mortgage loan originators, MLOs, through the Nationwide Mortgage Licensing System, NMLS. The SAFE Act mandated federal minimum licensing qualification requirements, including education, a 20 hours pre-licensing minimum, 8 hours hours CE annually. Testing, 115 scored questions with a score of 75%. Background check. Disqualifying information includes felonies for 7 years or more if it was a felony of dishonesty. A credit check. Financial responsibility is evaluated the most recent 3 years. Found in the Notes tab, the Housing and Economic Recovery Act, HERA, of 2008. Title V of the Act, entitled the Secure and Fair Enforcement of Mortgage Licensing Act, also known as the SAFE Act. The CFPB is responsible for enforcement of the SAFE Act and issued rules to support the Act under Regulation 8, found in the United States Code of Federal Regulations, CFR, Title 12, Chapter Act, Part 1008. The SAFE Act developed in an effort to assist in the recovery and revitalization of the housing market. The SAFE Act enforces consumer protection and reduces fraud in the mortgage industry by requiring all mortgage loan originators to be either state licensed or federally registered. The SAFE Act implemented the tracking of MLO licensing across the United States, D.C., and its territories with the intent to drive bad actors from the mortgage industry. The Nationwide Mortgage Licensing System, NMLS, facilitates company-level state licensing as well as individual MLO licensing at the state level. The SAFE Act mandated federally imposed minimum standards for education, testing, minimum credit and background check requirements, as well as established a federal registration requirements for individuals who act as residential MLOs who are employed by agency-regulated institutions. In other words, deposit-taking institutions, such as banks and credit unions. These clerical persons also require a mortgage loan originator license. An individual engaging in loan processor or underwriter activities who represents to the public through advertising or other means of communicating or providing information, including the use of business cards, stationery, brochures, signs, rate lists, or other promotional items that such individual can or will perform any of the activities, in other words, and holding themselves out as being able to act as an MLO. License disqualification. 1. No felony convictions in the last 7 years. Preceding application for a mortgage license. States do reserve the right to extend this time limit established. 2. No felony convictions for crimes of dishonesty. Ever. Crimes such as breach of trust by fraud, money laundering, or embezzlement, but not limited to these. 3. No previous MLO license revocation, unless that was reinstated in the same original jurisdiction of revocation. 4. A pattern of a lack of financial responsibility, as evidenced in the last 3 years. Non-compliance with education or testing requirements in item 5. Finally, number 6, failure to disclose relevant convictions. Expunged convictions need to be disclosed. Pardoned convictions need not be disclosed.